Erzulie Dantor, nous faisons déjà et nous continuons à faire encore.
Ou c'est mambo, qui ça ou pas vle ouais moi. C'est vrai. Ou c'est vite, ou qui ça ou pas vle ouais moi comme ça. Guinée ou pour tout le monde, dans bala ouais tout pas la fait ou pour moi. C'est vidéo à la date pour aller.
Infatigable, dénoulié. Président Gary, Maïs Soignel. Vice-président Félix.
Choisi moi pour me servir sur mais je démissionné assez à la dame
Madame Gina, déroulé.
Moi pas dans l'eau anglais, t'as lâché en point. Mais c'est bon Dieu qui choisit moi pour me servir. Mais je démissionné assez à la dame
Valentina, supportez-nous.
Lâché en point, lâché en point, mais c'est bon Dieu choisi moi pour me servir. Mais je démissionné assez à la dame pour aller.
Greetings and salutations to all of those who will be lucky enough, okay, and chosen to hear this message. You know, you just never know what presses you on to the next marker or of your journey to the next milestone, to greater heights of mastery. You never know what's going to take you there. This has sparked a whole nother epiphany on my journey. What am I talking about? I had a situation where I did a video on this particular doll you just saw. And an employee of YouTube actually created a voiceover on that video. Well, of course, I was like, what is this? Why is this? And for what? So, of course, my emotions began to flare and my mind went into a whole lot of places searching for answers. Because I've never seen this type of behavior from the YouTube corporation. And of course, YouTube don't have an issue with me. But it's just the people who work for YouTube that felt that it was necessary to give me a personal message on that video. These are the people that control the algorithms, the audio, and the visuals. Okay? But I said what I've heard many times to my mind. We're going to make lemonade out of lemons. They gave me lemons, and I'm going to create the best southern lemonade you could ever have. And it like I said, it inspired me to do just what I'm doing. And like I said, I never would have known that this would be a very, that this could be created into a positive manner. But I see the positivity into this. And this is what I'm going to do. And I'll be doing more in the future. Listen to this. So I wrote this specifically for the song that's at the beginning of this video, and for the person who inspired me to create that doll. Because the person who inspired me to create this doll is of Haitian descent. Okay, it was a commission. This is what she wanted. Okay. How Erzulie Dantor fire forged a nation. I had no clue that this doll was emanating that energy until I put that music with it and what came behind it. I didn't realize what a power force that video was. When we talk about the Haitian Revolution, we talk about generals and tactics. We talk about the only successful slave revolt in human history. But to tell that story without talking about the spirit that fueled it is to tell a lie of omission. This victory was not just the flesh and blood, it was a spiritual war. And in that war, the Loa, who stood on the front lines with a scar on her cheek and a child on her hip, was Erzulie Dantor. This is not the story of the law of love you might have heard of. This is the story of a mother's rage. This is the story of a protector. This is the story of resilience and carnet. The spirit of the revolution. Before the battles, there was the ceremony. at Boys, Cayman in 1791. The air thick with purpose. The enslaved people of Haiti did not just make a plan, they made a covenant. They called upon the Loa, and they did not just call for soldiers, they called for a mother. They called for Dantor. She is not gentle. She is not adorned in fine lace. She's a Petro-Loa of the hot, fiery, and urgent line. She is depicted as a black woman, very, very dark skinned, often with a scar on her cheek, a profound symbol of the violence and survival of slavery. She's a single mother, often showing her daughter, Anas, close. Her love is not soft, it's ferocious. It is a love that will kill to protect. And in 1791, all of her children were in chains. The resilience of the scarred. To understand how Haiti defeated Napoleon's armies, you have to understand the resilience of Erzulie, Dantor. Her scar is not a mark of weakness. It is a badge of survival. It says, "You tried to break me, and I am still here." That same spirit lived in every rebel. The French army was the most powerful in the world. They had muskets, cannons, and endless resources. The Haitians had machetes, makeshift weapons, and a spirit that had already endured the unsurvivable. Every time they were pushed back, Erzulie, Dantor's energy reminded them, we are scarred, but we are not broken. We have endured and we have survived the worst. We will endure this. Her resilience was their resilience. It was a stubborn, defiant refusal to be exterminated. It was the spiritual backbone of a guerrilla war that outlasted the enemy's will to fight. It was a warrior's love. This is the critical truth. Erzulie Dantor is a warrior because she's a mother. Her fighting is not for conquest or glory. It is for protection. She fights to create a safe world for her child. For the revolutionaries, Haiti was that child. The very idea of a free black nation was this fragile, precious thing that they had to protect at all costs. This changes everything about how you fight. A soldier fights for a general. A mother, she fights for her child's breath. There is no limit to that kind of strength. There is no tactic too harsh, no night too long, no sacrifice too great. When the woman of the revolution tended to the wounded, that was Erzulie, Dantor. When the fighters emerged from the jungle, outnumbered but never outwilled, that was Erzulie, Dantor. When they looked at the burning plantations, not as loss of property, but as the destruction of the machine that threatened their families, that was Erzulie, Dantor. She is the embodiment of the truth that the most powerful force in the world is a mother's love for her children. And when that love is threatened, it becomes the most powerful weapon in the world. The French were defeated by something they could not quantify, could not map, and could not defeat on any battlefield. An unbreakable spirit. They were fighting against the people who were not just fighting against slavery, but fighting for something sacred for each other. Erzulie, Dantor was the divine expression of that fight. She was the Loa who said it was holy to take up the knife to defend your own. She made resilience a prayer and protection a sacrament. The victory of 1804 was a military miracle. Yes, but it was first a spiritual victory. It was the victory of the scarred over the unscarred, who could never understand the power that comes from surviving. It was the victory of the mother over the master. So when you remember Etty's triumph, remember the name Erzulie, Dantor. Remember her scar. Remember the child in her arms. And understand that the fight for freedom is often led by those who have the most to love. Hey, ye bo. 9.
Erzulie, Dantor, nous faisons déjà et nous continuons à faire encore.
Ou c'est mambo, ou qui ça, ou pas vle, ouais, moi. Ou c'est vite, ou qui ça, ou pas vle, ouais, moi, ça.